Hello. Can anybody hear me out there? I am trying. Move my light. I'm not too sure if this is going to work. This is the first time I've tried this on this computer and everything down here. So if you can hear me or see me, please let me know. Oh, good. Thank you, Christine. Thank you. Hi. Okay, great. This is so cool. So I don't have any particular plans for this live stream. I was just sitting here this morning, and sometimes I feel like that really strange woman who just sits in the room and talks to herself. So, I decided it would be a good time to come on and interact with everybody so I don't feel like such a loner sometimes. So, hey, Joan, hi. Yeah, so I had a couple questions on my post earlier, but I am here if you guys want to chat. This is so cool. Look at all of you. Everybody. Oh my gosh, this is so fabulous. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come in and check in. Wow. So, yeah, it's very stormy here. The wind is kicking up like crazy. So if you see things going a little nuts out there or it gets cut off, that's what it is. It's just the weather. So everything's good for right now. So I'm working on a little wrap dress pattern for this week. It seems like I'm always doing a wrap dress, and this is a different one, and it's one that I got halfway through, and now I'm not too sure if I want to finish it, but we will persevere. So, yay, look at everybody. I see your names. Honestly, I really wish that I could see your face to go along with your name, because some of you guys have been with me for so long. It's just really, really cool. So I am ready for any questions you have. If not, one of the questions that was on my post earlier was about getting the crotch and things like that to fit in pants. And, there's so many people who have so many opinions on how to do pants fittings and alterations and adjustments and everything. Yeah, I would do a trench coat. I'll remember that. And my thought is, because you can have like a crotch that's, say, 20 inches, but you can either be shaped like a beach ball or shaped like a hot dog and have that 20-inch crotch. And so to me, it's easier to start with your hip measurement, find a pattern that fits your hips, and then shorten the waist, take in the waist, let out the waist, and things like that. That's my gut. Hello, everybody. I'm just looking at the names. I am so sorry. You're working on a Berta shirt. How to line a sheer blouse with a zipper back. Well, that's fun. I'm guessing that you don't need the sleeves lined. Usually I don't line sleeves. I just line the bodice part. And it depends on the way that the blouse is made. I would just cut the lining fabric the same as I do with the outside fabric, and maybe use it double. That might be the easiest. Or do a sack and insert it that way. I'd need to see the pattern though to know for sure. Oh, Christine, you made the green velvet coat in wool and cashmere. Wow, that's amazing. And someone asks, Luna, how did I become talented at sewing machines? Oh, I just tried. Honestly, playing with the sewing machines, it's like I just figured out that I needed to know how to work on my own machines because I couldn't find anyone around here who could work on them for me. And so I just tried. And there's a song a Moody Blues song. It's like it's easier to try than to prove it can't be done. It's like, okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to give it a shot. Sometimes it didn't work, but you learn lessons, you know? That's basically, and I'm still learning. Oh my goodness, I am still learning so much. I don't know the technical names for most of those parts or anything, but you know, we make it work. We make it work. You're working on a machine right now. Good for you. I'm working on a couple of them. I did go to college for engineering for 3 years, and then I switched to architecture, and it's a really long story. So anyway, let's see here. Oh, I'm trying to answer any questions, but I don't see the whole process up in my sewing room. And one of the things that I just kind of wanted to touch base with everyone is, you know, just trying to come up with a game plan for next year. You know, I was thinking, well, we're getting to the end of the year, New Year's resolution time and all that kind of stuff. And just trying to figure out if there's a different direction or if there's something in particular we wanted to do. Let me tell you one thing I'm kind of playing with, but I'm waiting on the pattern companies is I've been trying to get them to give me the information on what all of the exact measurements are that they base their patterns on. You know, not just the ones on the envelope, but like the arms, the, you know, everything to do with the pants fitting, crotch, thigh, everything. And I've been trying to get that information from them so that then I can do a whole series of how to get everything to fit you, because it seems like it's kind of like this big mystery and we don't know what information we're starting with. We just have to kind of guess which pattern to start, which size to start with, and then just take it from there. So anyway, that's something I'm working on, but I won't be able to start that whole series until I can get the information from the pattern companies. But I can tell you that they have been pretty good. When I contacted them because of that, when we had the pants with the weird instructions, and I had that meeting with them, with Brittany Jones and Mimi G, and there's another lady who's in charge of the patterns and things like that. And they've been communicating back and forth with me. So I'm really hopeful I'll be able to get that. Let me see here. What do we have? When did you learn and start sewing? Oh, well, I have actually a video somewhere way back on my website of how I know what I know, which kind of goes into it, but I basically figured it all out. I have figured it out. Would love to see a dirndl dress. Oh, you know what? There is a dirndl pattern in that Letterlow book that I have. There's a dirndl dress, you know, in there. And so that might be a fun thing next year. We'll do it for Oktoberfest next year. How's that? Oh, and one other thing that I'm thinking of doing is pants on the Letterlow patterns, just to see how they fit, you know, and go through that whole process. So anyhow, what do we have? Hello, everybody. I've seen Louisiana go by a few times here. I have a place in Louisiana. My mother's family is from. Thoughts on Letterlow? I think Letterlow is actually kind of cool. I really do. It's kind of hard to do a Letterlow pattern and say, and here you go. Now you can go and do it, because, you know, the one I have is 30, 40 years old. Think of it, 20 years ago was 2003. Oh my gosh. So my pattern book, my Letterlow pattern book is 40 years old. But I think that if you're interested in the system and I go through like a pants or something like that, it might be able to carry over to other Letterlow patterns. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm excited about getting the measurements. It's like the Holy Grail, trying to get a hold of that information, but I've been getting messages back and forth that they're still working on it. Would we consider doing a retreat? You know, there was a time like a year or so ago, I was going to try to do a meetup and stuff, and it's just too hard to get people together. And there's so many people from all over the world. And to get everyone to come to, middle of nowhere, Ohio can be a little bit rough. So I think virtual retreats is just about all we can do. Have I tried the Haslam? I do not even know what the Haslam sewing system is. I'm going to have to look up that. I really don't know what that is. I am thinking about trying to do like one of the free mood patterns. Another, like I said, the letter low pants. I have, other big four, big five, whatever. They're all owned by the same company. They're all printed at the same place. They have different little organizational things, but they go by the same standards and everything. So they're technically the same company with different subsidiaries, I guess. Let's see here. So, do you have any things that you really want to see me do? What I know I have coming up, I've mentioned, and like I said, my daughter is getting married next year, so I am going to do my dress. I'm doing my mother's dress. I am doing my daughter's wedding dress. But that's kind of a surprise, a secret thing, because I can't let any information out about that until after the wedding. So that's kind of a long-term thing. Let's see. Oh, you know what, Joanne? For the whole crotch thing, I'm going to have to do just like one of those little short videos that I do sometimes about measurements, because I think trying to explain I do crunch measurements and everything is going to be a little difficult to do without having something on the table for me to do it. So tell you what, I promise I will get just a separate little video out about that by next week. So yeah, for my daughter's wedding dress, I'm basically taking a existing dress and totally remaking it. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, I have not gotten all the sparkles out of my sewing room. I'm working on another outfit and I have the same machine up there on my table and it was really acting up for me. And so, I had to pull the bobbin out and go searching and everything. And I had gotten sequins in the hook of that machine. It's like, I think I'm going to be haunted by sequins forever. You have trouble lining coats. Lining coats is difficult. I think I have a separate video on putting a lining into a leather jacket, which is lining an existing coat. And I have some of the other coats I've done. I think I did different techniques for just about every coat. I did it differently because I always do things differently. Sometimes people will ask, well, why don't you do it this way? Or why didn't you do this way? You've done it that way before and things. And honestly, I can make the same dress 3 times in a row and do it 3 different ways each time. It's just whatever the mood hits me at that moment. Hi, Norma. Good to see you. Yeah. It's difficult to pass a dress form for your size. Yeah. Well, having a dress form that's your own size makes life so much easier, And so if you don't want to do a custom one or you don't want to do like the way that I do it, if you can find one that's at least similar to your size, it would really help you. It would help you out a whole lot just to have something to be able to look at it. Because, sewing, it's like sculpting, you're creating a 3-dimensional thing out of 2-dimensional fabric. So it's really helpful to be able to put it up onto a dress form and see what you're doing. So yeah. So I'm just so thankful for all of you guys. I really, really am. This has been a huge blessing this year. Weddings may lead to grandchildren, huh? I have no idea. My daughters are all over the country, so You never know. You never know. My one daughter is in Arizona, and the other, oh, hey, Bob, how you doing? So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So what else do you think? What do you think we should be doing in the sewing channel? Should we just stick with all of the traditional things, or should I go off topic and grab all of the little free things? I want to try to stick with patterns that are accessible all over, and that's why I was trying to find like maybe the mood pattern or something like that. Okay. No thoughts. Okay. Well, I think then predominantly I'll probably stick with the big four. I don't know at this point if I'm going to be making another big coat this year. I think I made like 2 or 3 coats last year, and I'm kind of coated out right now. Tissue patterns or PDF? I prefer tissue patterns or drafting my own. PDF patterns can be a pain. I don't like printing out like 50 sheets and taping them together. I have also done where I had a projector and I would project it onto my wall and then trace it out. And it seems like things are always a little bit off. So I would prefer not to do PDF patterns. Yay. Hello, hello, hello. So, yeah, that is about it. Anything you need, let me know. If you aren't on our Facebook group, I try to keep up with that. I've got a million things going on right now, but I try to keep up with it in case someone asks a question. That's a really good place to put it to get my attention so that then I can do a separate little video on it later. How to download and print PDF patterns. Yeah, well, you want to see drafting patterns. Well, okay, so here's my thing. I don't like drafting patterns from scratch when there are so many tools out there that give you a really good place to start, whether it's an existing pattern or like the Letterlow thing or something like that. I would prefer to take a pattern piece that I already have, whether it's a tissue pattern or Letterlow, and then tweak it from there. Now, here's one thing. Tell me if you think you might like it. Is I think I showed in my 3 books, my 3 favorite books video. My Facebook group is My Bucolic Life Sewists. I think there's a link in or a note at the very end of each video on it. But there's a book it's a Doug McCune book on patterns. And I have it, and it basically shows if you have a basic sleeve pattern, how to manipulate it into just about anything that you would want. And so I might be able to, do that so that we can say, okay, here's a basic sleeve pattern, but I want this, and maybe work that inside of some other videos. That might be fun. Let's see here. You like it when I work on a full outfit? Yeah, those are kind of fun. Sometimes I worry if I'm doing, because like they'll have the full outfit patterns where you have like the skirt and the top and the jacket and the sheath dress and things. And sometimes I feel like if I do too many of those at one time that people will get tired of them. But I kind of like doing that where I have several components to one outfit in a row. If that's something that you think you guys would like, then yeah, I would like to do a couple of those, because that way, you have something that you can build on. Okay. So I think that sounds good. Let's see. Yeah, getting PDF patterns printed is a pain. I can't do it out here. There is nowhere out here to do large scale PDF prints. There's just not, And so that's why I tried it with my projector thing before. But even then, it's always hit and miss. If you have your angle of your projector slightly wrong, or the angle of I had it on a shelf and my shelf would be slightly not perfectly straight, it throws the proportions off. So I decided I didn't like that. Okay, a trouser suit would be nice. It would be nice. Something with a full trouser, like a big comfy one, not a real form-fitted one, because I got thighs that don't like form-fitted pants. What about style arc patterns? I've never done a style arc pattern. I've never actually even looked into them. I would have to look into that. I really should make a note. I'm hoping that the chat will remain and so that I can go back and make some notes, but yeah, I like that idea. Have I sewn a men's suit pant? No, I have not. My husband only wears jeans. And so I didn't. I think the only men's pants that I have done, and I don't think I did a video on it, it was more of a costume type thing. It was like a Civil War reenactment type pant for somebody. And so I could do that. I could do that. My husband's going to need a new suit for the wedding, but I don't think I want to make his suit. Style arc is PDF. Oh, yikes. Well, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. My dogs are doing great. They're running around in here. They're doing great. They're happy. Lingerie. Well, you know what I was thinking about is, do you know the old style, it's not old style, but they were bias cut slips that were so comfortable and they fit really well because everything was cut on a bias and everything. And then you can't find them anymore. At least I can't. And I was thinking of something like that. Would you guys be interested in like a bias cut slip pattern or something? You know, I'd probably have to redo a pattern from like the 1940s or 50s or something. That sounds good. Okay. All right. So we'll do that. So we have a plan here. We do have a plan. Yeah. No, I need to find a nice fabric to do that. I'm guessing like a satiny tricot or something. I'll have to find something like that. So I think that could be really helpful. All right. Yeah, let's see here. The multi-sew outfits. You like it when I talk about material? Well, I just pick what I like. And not everything is available out here. And I have a hard time in general ordering fabric online because you can't touch it ahead of time. And I've been really disappointed sometimes. So I just kind of find what I could find, you know. Where do I buy most of it? Probably Joann. But I've also bought random places, totally random places. You just bought a Big 4 for Intimates pattern. Did it have a bias cut slip? That's my question. I need to look into that. So that's another plan. This is really helpful to me. This is really helpful because sometimes I'm just up there in my room and I have piles of fabric and a drawer of patterns and I'm trying to think, what in the world can I do? You know? And so I think that this is great. You like how I use fabric that's not specifically recommended. How many times have I done that? Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm trying to be rebellious. I just pick what I think I would like. And then it's not until I actually turn on the video that I actually look at the instructions and see that it's not made for that. But, you know, that's okay. How about hats? What about hats, huh? I made a pillbox hat. Do you remember that one? That was a long time ago. I don't know. You like the flannel? This is a flannel. I do love flannel. I actually have a really nice flannel plaid that I've been waiting to do something with. So maybe I will do that. An ironing board cover. Don't we always need those? Okay, so here's the deal with my ironing board cover. I need to just come up with a more professional one. I know that it's just crazy loud colors and everything like that. It's just sometimes I get in the mood and I have extra canvasy kind of fabric and I just make something. And then I completely forget sometimes that I'm turning on the camera that people aren't used to those crazy patterns and everything. So, it works though. It works. Next time I make one, I'll turn on the camera and see what we can do. A lot of times I do things that don't go to plan. I think a lot of times I think my videos are about, okay, so if you screw something up this way, here's a way out of it, Yeah, ironing board covers, totes. Okay, so here's another thing. A long time ago, my very first video I ever made, it's actually on my personal channel and everything, and it was making a lined tote bag out of a feed sack. A lot of people do it. Mine are always lined, and I have made thousands of these things over the years. And so it's a good video. If you're ever interested in tote bags, I'll throw a link to it up at some point so that you guys can find it, because it actually explains it really well. But it was my very first video. I don't even think I showed my face. Blue jeans sewing. Ooh. Blue jeans are tough because of the thickness and everything. I can do a stylized version, kind of like I have done, where there was like a Mimi G pattern where she had a high-waisted flared leg blue jeans. And I did those, not on this channel, but I did them, off camera and things like that. And so I can do things like that where it's more of a stylized blue jean than a trying to replicate Levi's kind of blue jeans. Closet accessories. That would be a good gift idea kind of thing, wouldn't it? Doing an accessory kind of a video, that can be made up into gifts. How long does it take to film and edit? Oh my gosh, it depends. I mean, filming sometimes, if it's a really quick project, it doesn't take me a couple days to get something made. But in general, I'm filming, every time I get a chance, I run upstairs and I sew something, turn on the camera, do something, and run back down. And if you watched it, it's like, okay, every few minutes, it's like the next day, just because I fit it in when I get it, get the chance. And then to edit it, figure out however long the video is, it takes at least 4 times that long to edit it. So if it's a 2-hour video, one of those, I'm sitting here for 8 hours editing it down, something like that. It's crazy. And then you have to have processing time, and then you have to have uploading time, and then you have to have tweaking on YouTube time. So there's a lot in there for 2 channels, Let's see here. Baby bags, diaper changing mat. Well, that's all part of the whole accessories and bags and everything like that. I'll see. I'll look into some of the accessories. I'll probably do one accessory video. I'll try to do one pretty soon so that it can be like, this is a thing you can use as a gift idea kind of thing. Maybe that might work. Do I work on one project at a time or multiple? Oh my goodness. I work on a million things at once. Now in my sewing room, I really try to just do one sewing garment at a time for a video. But sometimes I will have one garment going for a video. I'll have another thing off to the side that I'm doing for somebody else. I'll have another thing off to the side that I'm fixing, another thing off. And so sometimes my sewing room is pandemonium, but I just try to keep the camera focused down on the table where it's not apparent. And then I do try to clean it up and straighten it up after the project. So that helps. Yes. Trench coat. I've seen trench coats a couple times that comes through. So I'm thinking trench coat. It's not a huge line thing. It's more just a waterproof trench that has maybe that inner lining up here at the shoulders and maybe a little open, kind of like a Burberry trench, but I don't think I can get Burberry fabric, something like that. Does that sound good? You placed your first order with Waywalk. I love Waywalk. their prices on everything is so good. Their prices on shears is really good. I'd like to get my scissors there. Ideas for fabric scraps. Ooh, there's a lot of videos out there on that. I don't know that that's my forte. You add the intimates. Yeah, I'm gonna really try to do soon because okay, so slips. I'm thinking slips are more easily worn under winter dresses, but honestly in summer too. So I'll try to get an accessory video, the bias cut slip video, and a trench coat video, and a letter low pants pattern just to see how letter low pants are fitting, and a pant fitting in general pattern alteration adjustment video. Those 5. I think that's my game plan right now. Have I ever made buttons? No, I have not made buttons. I own thousands of them though. Oh, video with me and my animals. Well, it gets a little hard to show me with my animals with the camera, and usually it's really windy outside. A flannel slip for winter. Oh my. Oh, the Vogue pattern that you're putting up, is that Vogue 1834? Is that a bias cut slip? Okay, so the animals. We have the 3 horses, and the white one, he's actually a gray. His name is Colonel, and then the big bay is Major. And those were ranch horses when we were in Arizona. All of our horses are old. Those 2 are 24 years old. The Little Red Arabian is mine. I had that horse before I had my husband. He's about 29 years old now. His name is Fable Amour Rouge, but we call him Little Boy. I'm looking, Joan. I don't know. I'll have to find the pattern. Yeah, there's a lot of slip patterns, but finding one that's the bias, where it comes in angles like this. I don't know. We'll look. Oh, and then, okay, so back on the animals, we have laying hens and we have banny hens. And a lot of times we have banny chickens everywhere. The bannies, they do what they want to do. And they are running around the place and you can't control them. They're wild. And they're having so many babies and everything. They're everywhere. I just can't control them. Let's see. Ellie and Max Trench. I can't deal with PDFs. I'm really, really sorry about that. 1962 is a bias cut slip. Okay, I'm going to look at that. Because if that's a current pattern, that would be fabulous. Yeah, the swallows are gone. The swallows left as soon as it got to be where fall is approaching. The swallows leave, and they'll be back. They're always coming back every single year. So we have them. I used to milk cows, but we don't have dairy cows anymore. All we have are the beef cows, and you've seen, our black cows out there, and they're doing well. We're really scaling down on the animals. When the kids were little, we had flocks of sheep, we had goats, we had dairy cows, we had the horses, we had ducks, we had chickens, we had turkeys. And since it's just Mark and I here, we really, really scaled that back down. Oh, I love my pig too. That sweet Tinkerbell. She passed away last year. She was an elderly lady too, but she lived a good life. So yeah, well, I don't want to keep you guys all night, but I think that this is fabulous. I really, really enjoyed talking to you because, sometimes I'm here by myself. It feels like for weeks at a time, if my husband's at work or off on a hunting or fishing trip or something like that. And literally, I will only be talking to the camera all day. And so, I begin to think that this is not a healthy option. So sometimes it's just nice to know that there are actually people out there. This is great. This is great. So, I mean, if it's something that you guys like, I kind of like checking in and getting your feedback. So we can do this periodically, throughout the year or something, if that's something that you guys might want. So I think that could be a good idea. I'm trying to see what is behind me. Oh, I'm going to show you something. Okay, just because I think this is cute. This is totally, off topic and everything. Okay, this was my daughter's a long time ago. So one of our goats had just had a baby. That's what they were looking at. That's Jessie. This is Morgan. She's the one getting married. And when they had their high school graduation, they redid it in the same blanket and the same sweater. So I thought that was adorable, But anyway, that's just them. Well, I will let you guys go, but please, if you have a specific question, chime into the Facebook group and I'll try to get back to you on it. It might not be instant because I do have a lot of different things going on, but I will try to get back out there. Have I done a couture pattern? Have you seen my Chanel suits? Possibly. That's as close to couture as I'm going to be getting, I think, right now. I did the Chanel suit, the Claire Schaefer version, my version of a Claire Schaefer version, I did several of those with all the hand done everything and bound buttonholes and all of that. If you can look back on those, that would be great. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a fabulous holiday season and everything. And thank you so much for spending some time here with me and giving me a little bit of input. I really appreciate it. Okay. So I'm going to let you go. Yes. Have a very Merry Christmas. And I really appreciate you. And I will check in with you later. Okay. I'm going to sign off. Thank you. And I am going to leave my chat open so I can go back and write everything down so I don't forget it. All right. Oh, bye, Bob. Yeah, I need to talk to you about something. Say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Bye, everybody.